Okay, 5 minute buffer is enough, so I think we can already start. Hello everyone, I'm Emanuela Serbinovska-Stajkovska. I work as Data Management Practice Lead here at Interworks. We at Interworks are starting a series of Inspirational Monday webinars. So today I will share with you my opinion about women in IT world and my experience about how I found fulfillment as IT professional, a girl and mother, and then how we can balance work and personal life, well, for the most part. I believe that every one of us has something to learn from others and vice versa. Interworks as a company is a strong believer of this fact too. And to say it simple, we care, so we share, and that is one of our company values. So we're doing that with that purpose. Here you can see some of my colleagues, women in tech, women in Interworks. Fortunately, today we are part of time where there is attention to gender equality, and I'm really proud to be part of a company where 41% are women, and I can say and I can guarantee that we have equal opportunities for growth. I can also say that Interworks as company and community, we are trying hard to make a difference and to inspire others to follow and to contribute as much as we can. I also think that IT industry is balanced regarding gender equality. Some percent is due to the fact that there are no enough qualified employees on worldwide level, and I think that's part of the reason why we are equal in gender matter. But what about the rest of the world? What about other industries? I recently read an interesting article written by my friend who works as diversity and inclusion officer, and he says how everyone is so excited on 8th of March, but he wonders what happens the day after, or what happens in the following days. Are we really doing what we're supposed to do? All over the world, there are a number of organizations and individuals that worked and are still working hard in order to advance women's rights and their place at workplaces, to be able to value themselves and speak up. But is that enough? Well, it's not if we ask Harvard Business Review and its reference studies. It turns out that the confidence gap between men and women is still just a myth, and that's in huge percent. Lately, we seem to notice a shift in the noise that International Women's Day is causing around the world, and we're witnessing tremendous commitment from the nations, corporations, agencies, and so on in all spheres of life. The question now for the gender balance is perfectly clear, but it becomes a business strategy and a performance driver. But this is not done yet, I would say. The progress that is done just shows the potential to achieve this, and these initiatives are focused all on improvement. I believe that all of us have to improve along with the systems and environments built around us. So I gave a brief introduction about women in IT. Now I'll speak a little for myself and my experiences. If someone finds it useful, it will be great. I'm currently 30 years old, IT professional, and I consider myself as exactly I should be right now and right here. My professional path started with my education, of course. An interesting fact is that I finished medical high school, and switching to technical faculty opened a whole new world, whole new perspective for me. And it wasn't difficult at all. It was all the opposite. I found it very interesting to test my boundaries. Some comments from people around were funny to me. They were all surprised how I can make such drastic change in career. Like, you know what you want when you're 18 years old. I mean, that's ridiculous. Or even 14 when you're choosing your high school. So then I learned the important lesson, and that is to think well and to make decision. And after that, do not think regarding that a lot. And again, if you feel it's not the right decision for you, you can change it. We always try to adjust ourselves with our emotions and our desires. It's simple as that. At least it was for me. Then my job. I started at Interworks while I was still studying, right before my graduation. I believe that education is very important, so I did my master's studies in parallel with employment. Sometimes it was demanding, but I started to learn to organize my time and priorities better, so I was okay. My job at Interworks as my first and only workplace that I found very fulfilling and very rich. It was great experience overall. I matured and advanced a lot during these 9 years, and I can not say how grateful I am for all the things that made me what I am today and shaped me as a person and professional. I have friends, I have colleagues, connections all around the world. Their stories are amazing, and it's so inspiring to interact with all these different people, all these different cultures, and to share knowledge and expertise. My job as IT professional gives me feel of empowerment. The fact that I'm constantly advancing makes me feel to learn even more. I feel like we in technology world, in IT world, are privileged with one of the coolest jobs in the world. We're constantly learning, we're constantly exploring. No each day is same as the previous, and I found it as a miracle because we people are made to evolve and to develop, and we always succeed doing that. My first role at Interworks was .NET developer, application developer. I was very lucky to fit in a great team of professionals and people. Every one of them is my close friend after an almost decade. They helped me assimilate, and I felt as one of them from day one. I strongly believe that the environment has a lot to do in what we are and what we're becoming. And I was privileged to fit in very inspiring and knowledgeable environment. After working as application developer for almost 3 years and developing as a senior technical consultant, I moved to the field of integration. It turns out there was a new giant client and a new platform called SnapLogic that expected someone to learn and explore it. So there I was, together with my great team of professionals. We started writing another successful story that still lives today in Interworks and across all our successful clients. After a certain period of time as a team lead, we established multiple practices within the company. SnapLogic was one of them, and I was promoted to SnapLogic practice lead. This new role opened a lot of new opportunities for me, and I learned a lot in technical and not technical matter. Then, after almost 3 years in the field of integration, I went off my maternity leave. Now I'll switch a bit on my personal path and who I am personally, and that's regarding triple full-time job that it's 24 hours a day. I'm proud mother of a toddler. I have 3-year-old daughter, and I'm also wife. Being a mother is the best and the most precious and fulfilling role that I'll ever have. That's one thing I can guarantee. It's absolutely incredible what we can do as persons and everything that we can accomplish. Um, Back in the time when my daughter was born, I felt a little bit lost, as many of you women might feel. I was working hard to prepare for that new experience, and that little precious person then depends all on you. And as the time passed, I was getting more and more used to the new life, and I have to say I enjoy that a lot. Priorities and perspectives in my life then changed completely. I started to develop as a mother, as we're all evolving in all processes of life. I learned to enjoy more and worry less. I spent many sleepless nights, and I think of those when my daughter was sleeping. I was reading about parenthood, child development, baby nutrition. I was on all over the social media groups, reading, contributing, sharing experience, and so on. The motto that I'm trying to follow is to enjoy in every minute of motherhood and parenting in general, to be relaxed and listen to your heart. Do not try to be perfect, because none of us is, and our kids need happy parents so they can be happy persons. Getting back from my maternity leave on January 2018 opened a lot of new professional experiences to me. I can't say it was easy period for me. It was hard to be separated from your child while it's still very young. But I prepared myself and my child well, both emotionally and physically. We actually do have a privilege of longer maternity leave here in Macedonia compared to many other countries in the world. We're not the best in that, but we are good, so let's be grateful for what we have. 9 months is not bad after all, so I think we're good on that field. Then at work in such dynamic environment as IT companies and international and successful one as my companies, the time, of course, it didn't stop only because you were not there. So everything changed. And then I thought, let's see what can be done. I get some time to think about what I really want to do with my career and in which direction I want to advance. And then with support of the company management and my colleagues, we decided to officially establish new data management practice and to see how can make that another successful story. We weren't rookies in the area. I and the team as well have a lot of experience and knowledge gained from our previous projects, and we're constantly learned and we're still learning. So we started to build a team, we get new projects and make success by success. My current role requires deep technical expertise. I'm constantly following and learning new technologies, and I would say that is a must, and I'm doing that on daily basis. Then it requires high level of multiple industries knowledge, then research and planning capabilities, following finances, as well as leadership and people management skills, which is not easy after all. It's not easy after all, but when you love what you do, then nothing's hard. Again, that means a lot of work, a lot of dedication and flexibility, and the number one rule that I'm following is to know what's my goal and my purpose. If that is not defined, we all might fall in the comfort zone, and I didn't allow that to happen for me. Because we people have limitless capabilities and we can be happy only in environments that give us constant growth and development. As professional and as a person, I strongly believe that the work-life balance is a key to happy life, and I can proudly say that I'm successfully living that. Many of the successes, my key milestones, again, personal and professional, would not have been possible without unquestionable support I get from my husband and from my family. I'm grateful that they believe in me always, and I never take this for granted. When life don't go the way we like or have planned, I try to remember that not a storm lasts forever, and that something better is coming after all. What also makes me proud is that my company Interworks is a huge supporter of work-life balance, and that it gives us the flexibility to organize our work and our private time. Now I'll try to share some tips that are working for me. Number one is improved my time management and prioritization skills. I try to properly plan my time in advance, although that is not always possible or 100% accurate or following the plan, but it is for the most part. The time I'm spending at work, I'm doing my best to be as much productive as I can. I'm booking my time properly, planning properly. If I know that some meeting will last longer, then I'll book to be longer. And I'm not allowing too many distractions. I'm still improving that. I'm not where I want to be, but working on that. I each day try to spend time also to advance in technical matter, to prepare certifications on constant basis, to learn new technologies and adjusting that to other obligation I have. I use one method called RPM planning, or rapid planning method, which is a simple system for planning and managing our time. It's focused on results, on the purpose that we're trying to accomplish, and it has something called massive action plan. And that's the way of thinking for conditioning our brain to focus on the outcome and to the results that we're after. Massive action plan turns out to be a great tool for effective and efficient organizations. At least it was something that works for me. On daily basis, I also use effectively prioritized to-do lists. After that, becoming too massive, I've improved it with not to-do list. There are a lot of tools available for organizing, prioritizing, and so on. Or you can just, I don't know, Notepad, OneNote, Trello, or whatever works for you. What I also regularly do at weekly, monthly, and even daily basis is reflection. I'm trying to go back and see where I was, where I am, what I did good, what I didn't do good, or it wasn't so good, and how to improve myself. What was the reason for the partial success or a failure? I do not see on a failure as a failure, but as a lesson. And after that, I'm constantly better. Not ideal, but better than I was previously, so that's good enough for me. I never miss proper planning, whether it's planning of my working day or it's something serious like practice plan for a quarter. If I don't do it, it turns out that I get a real pool of unexpected items that are coming all over, and that is not good. Then nothing seems to be completed as it should be, with good quality. I would say flexibility is important, but proper planning is a must. Write your plan, commit to the success, explore and try new techniques, and that will lead to establishing a process that will work for you. There is no general formula for success, but we can adjust it to our needs and see what works for us. I'm doing the same with my private time. I'm 100% dedicated and conscious for what I do while spending time with my family. I try to be fully present and enjoy in each moment. And I can say that we have to be smart with our time. Finding our energy poolers and resolving them will allow us time, will allow us energy, and will feel more energized. Another tip is to read. whenever there is a chance, not only technical related articles, books and so on, but also add educational books for what you want to improve, whether it's health, wealth, parenting, organization, time management, and so on. The most important part is the application to all areas of life, because if you have knowledge only, that's kind of borrowed knowledge, you have to apply that to your life. And with all these resources we have available today, like books, seminars, webinars, whatever is in alignment with their goals, can make tremendous improvement and can make us feel happier and wealthier. I will not forget to mention some of my favorite authors. Those are Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie, Deepak Chopra, Osho, Neil Donald Walsh, and so on and so on. Lately, thanks to my company, I had a chance to visit Tony Robbins seminar, Unleash the Power Within, in Miami, Florida. That was very rich experience. It helped me to learn and improve myself a lot in all segments of life, work, personal life, time management, health, and so on. Another tip I would like to share: if you feel like you're losing focus, then make a break. Everyone needs some time off. We're not machines. We're not always able to be concentrated or be in good mood, and that is perfectly okay. We'll also have to learn to rest as much as possible, regardless if it's a 5-minute break at work, relaxing in massage chair, or lying on the floor and close eyes for a couple of seconds while playing with our child. What I found out was that sleep deprivation cannot kill. What worked for me was to find simple ways to relax and rest multiple times per day. So here we are, alive after all. I mean, it's not something that that it cannot be solved. Then physical activity is very important for all us, but especially in our case, when we have so much sitting time and more static jobs. Once I thought there is no time to exercise, I was wrong, because there is time when something is important to you, and everything else is a simple excuse. I can guarantee that you can make time when there is not time, because I now exercise 5 times a day, and I feel healthy and I feel vital. Another thing I'm doing myself is not ignoring small things that makes us to feel better, the small pleasures. Practice and repeat what makes you feel good. For example, simple coffee with friends, or a run, a walk in nature, shopping or visiting beauty salon can make us feel refreshed within a couple of minutes. It's not very time consuming, but it can make a little miracle. Another thing that works for me is projecting the time in advance. How I will feel if I do this, or will I feel better if I do something else, and that makes me choose wisely and make smart decisions. Now I'll speak a little about challenges, or or problems, as we often say. A useful thing for me was to change my view to problems or challenges. They all happen for a reason, and that is to make us stronger and wealthier. They are the point of development, they are the point of maturement, and they are making us exploring new things and gaining new experiences. The most important thing regarding challenges is our state of mind and how we see them, whether as problem or as chances. And speaking about myself, I see challenges as chances to learn and to improve myself further. I'm now trying to enjoy during all processes in life as much as I can, regardless if they are personal or professional. And another thing that I want to mention is that I believe that there are no wrong decisions. What we need to determine is what makes us happy and fulfilled. What works for one person doesn't work for another, and so on. So we have to determine what is in alignment with our personality and what makes us happy and fulfilled. I will suggest to not sacrifice any segment of your life. Everything is important. Your family is important. You feeling good is very important, and not every period is ideal. And we cannot always balance, but we can try to do as much as we can, and we can do whatever it takes, and all the conflicts will be resolved. Now I would like to share some quotes that I am trying to remember on daily basis. We are product of our thoughts, what we think we become. Success without fulfillment is an ultimate failure. And the highest level of performance come to people who are centered, intuitive, creative, and reflective. People who know to see a problem as an opportunity. Thank you for your time and for your attention. And please post and comment your questions if you have any. Now I can see your comments. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support. I can see you like it. So we're definitely continue this series of inspirational and motivational Mondays. Yeah, sure. So please ask something. Otherwise, it. Sure. I will see you. I have questions regarding women in IT industry. Do you think that working in IT industry as women is too challenging? I would say I think so, but I see it as a chance. Whenever I thought there was a problem in the past, it turned out to be great experience. It turned out to end with greater good, and it turned out to have a great purpose at the end. Now we have comments only. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. We have missed. How did you cope with it? Oh, I have another. I can say that we cope with in perfect alignment, at least in this industry and at least in my company. I cannot speak for for other places, but for here, I would say perfectly. If you have any other questions, comments, please add your question in the live chat. I would say demanding technologies and demanding situations where you have two choices to decide to follow the road of success or to decide to follow a road of I don't know, negation, then feel sorry for yourself, try to make everyone else guilty but you, but that's not it didn't turn out to be the best possible solution. So there is always a chance to negotiate, there is always a chance to find the best possible solution. So we're in perfect environment where we can expect help and understanding for all team members. So I wouldn't say that there was tough people or technology that can be learned or project that can be done. What keeps you motivated on a daily basis? First of all, the dynamic environment that I'm part of and the industry that is always tremendously demanding, that we cannot be in the comfort zone if we like to be successful. That's not an option. So that keeps me motivated on daily basis. The constant constant desire for improvement, for new successes, and for grow and mature even more. I cannot imagine how it's like to be in environment that every day is same as the previous one. In our environment, every day you learn something different. You learn someone different. You work on something different, and that's what it keeps me motivated. The dynamic as it is. I hope I didn't miss anything. That's the same one. Great challenge, people or technology. Okay, well, if you have no other questions, then I will turn off the streaming, and then again you can reach out directly to me. I have my email here at the beginning of the presentation. Most of you are my colleagues and friends. We know in person, so whenever you like, please reach out to me and we can we can chat and talk in whatever subject you like. Thank you.